Hello everybody, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar. We do this show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins and everything else. Guys, we are going into the Fed interest rate decision. I think that's tomorrow at 22nd, so that's gonna be interesting. So right now we are coming to some kind of top. As you can see, people are preparing a little bit, their shorts, their longs, they're, taking profits, adjusting their portfolio, thinking what's gonna happen next. They're trying to predict the future. They are trying to anticipate the future, anticipate the next move. So the market's a little bit, what you gonna say? Yeah, they're anticipating stuff. That said, we don't care what's gonna happen on. Actually, we do care a little bit, but we're gonna try to interpret the charts and figure out what's gonna happen next. So still nothing wrong with the charts. Yes, we are curving a little bit towards downside. Some kind of pullback is in play right now. But the price doesn't look that that bad. Not only that, the weekly time frame, I'm gonna show you guys. The weekly time frame is so beautiful, it's insane. Besides the curving towards downside, beside this consolidation part that we are coming into right now, altcoins are dumping down big time. Not big time, but they are definitely a little bit on the move towards downside a little bit. But everything looks fine. So we're gonna see how much this can actually pull back. We're gonna look at some, how much, if the Fed decision tomorrow anticipation is actually bullish, how much towards upside we can go. We also look at the stock market, and the stock market is actually looking quite nice. I'm gonna explain to you why so far. And there's that. That's what we're gonna do today. So quick and dirty, take on the markets, how they are playing out, how Bitcoin is doing, what kind of levels we can expect and stuff like that. DJ Sunny, how you doing, man? XRP Legend, good morning. What's up, Sunny? Morning all. It's looking promising. Cristo is bullish. That's nice. Round the earth, Bitcoin Le Pampu. Yeah, I see Bitcoin to 40k end of the week. Maybe, I don't know. I'm a little bit unsure about that, but we know the date, guys. We know the date. So on the April the 20th, this is something. This is a weekly time frame, but April the 20th. Let's go up here. April 20, we got a new moon with eclipse, which is actually very, very bad. So the eclipse new moon on the April 20, you might expect a dump, whether that's gonna be a pullback dump or something like that, but do expect a dump on the April of 20th. So make sure to take that into your calculations when figuring out the what Bitcoin's gonna do next. Dr. Kalav, good morning, man. How you doing? Stanko, dobro jutro. The Central Plan, what's up? The moment the Fed pivots might be the moment the stock market crashes. The Bitcoin might not do the same thing. Yeah, we are a little bit like everybody, used to say. Bitcoin never experienced a financial crisis. Bitcoin got created in 2009, just after the first financial crisis. So right now, this is the very first test of Bitcoin, whether it's gonna, withstand probably the worst financial crisis in the world. So if Bitcoin gets through this and survives, it's gonna be branded as the store of value. Is now time to buy ship. I'm a little bit unsure about that. I've been looking at a lot of coins, and I think they are gaining momentum towards the upside. So it's only a matter of time before altcoins do get nice moves towards the upside. I think it's only a matter of time before they get nice moves towards the upside. So it's how you draw these lines and where you draw them, stuff like that. But you can also already see here that this drop down here is still not done. But we had a couple of intermediate momentum that has been this move up here broke over here, this move up here broke over here. So I think it's curving towards upside, but when it's actually gonna happen, it kind of depends. But this is only ship, but I've seen this on other coins as well. So I think they are yes, we are falling down and altcoins are pulling back, but they're not they're still gaining a little bit momentum. They're still managing to hold certain levels. So there's that. So I think that I don't think the full-blown altcoin season will come in just yet, but there might be very nice moves on some coins. Hi Siama, no, welcome Mir. How you doing, man? Captain is in the chat. Hi Captain, what's up? New moon is on 20th, yeah. So So we're gonna see that. My take is that it will crash when stocks crash, but will recover quickly afterwards. I got buy orders from 12 to 14k. Didn't you see yesterday's video? There is no 14k, man. There is no 14k. Norwegian newspapers, during the when he had the capitulation towards downside, they came out, Bitcoin's below 20k, and this expert says, we need to get down to 14k. There is no 14k, man. There is no 14k. John Barker standing by. John Barker is back in the chain, so I'm guessing we're having a bull market right now. I still have some Liku. I want to buy some else, but is Bitcoin a better buy? It's kind of hard to tell. Bitcoin is outperforming a lot of stuff right now. Bitcoin is always first run. Let the banks burn. I will roast marshmallows. Captain. Robert, morning. How you doing, man? Yes, there will be 14. I don't know when, but there will be 14. You might be right. I'm not saying that, right? We saw what happened during Corona crash in 2020. We went almost as low. We went down to 4k, but the bottom was down at 3.3 or something like that. We went down very low. So could it happen that we go down? I mean, with everything that's happening in the world, there is probability to go down, but it's not. I don't think it's gonna be any kind of markets, a regular market cycle move towards downside. It has to be something irregular to push it back down to 40. I think so. I could be wrong on this, but I think that something irregular needs to happen to actually push us down. I hope. There we go, guys. We went through the chat. We said hello to everybody. Right now we can focus on the charts. So we're gonna start on the Bitcoin up here. We're gonna go to the weekly time frame. First thing first, is so we are done talking about this. Do remember the date, guys. Do remember the date, not the date. Do remember the date on the downside. April 20, 2023. It is the new moon. It is the eclipse. And one time I disregarded the blood moon, and we dumped big time towards downside. That was right over here. Here was the blood moon. I was actually a couple of days before the blood moon. I was thinking about, this blood moon gotta mean something, right? So I was reading about blood moon, and there was this market analyst that says that been looking into research about blood moons and said more than not the probability for a big dump on a blood moon is a lot higher than usual, right? So I was looking at that, I was thinking about it, I was like, nah, we are already at the bottom, it's not gonna have BAM! Right back down again, So I don't wanna disregard any kind of moons right now, especially any kind of eclipses with the new moons or full moons, you don't wanna disregard that. So, 20 April 2023, remember the date, guys, remember that. That said, let's go to the weekly time frame up here. And as we just saw, I forgot to talk about weekly time frame yesterday, so I wanted to say a quick word about that. This looks actually quite nice, very, very nice, actually extremely nice. Number one, we are above the highs up here. We closed above everything, literally everything. 200 moving average, 10 moving average, 50, 20 moving average. We are above all moving averages. We also had a rising trend line over here that we actually broke towards the upside up here, as you can see. Very nice. So we broke literally everything we could break on this weekly time frame. So for the next couple of days, unless this for whatever reason just dumps down towards the downside, unless we get a big pullback down here and start doing this up here, this will become some kind of fake out on the weekly time frame, which I don't think that's gonna happen, because if you look at the small time frames, we don't have anything that's telling us that we are extremely bearish right now. I'm not gonna show you that, but right now, unless something happens and we pull back down big time over here, this looks very, very good. This looks extremely good, and there is no doubt in my mind that this is right now, should continue towards the upside. Now there might come consolidation phases up here. There might come, slow move, because this was a huge move towards the upside. This green candle is a 30% move, but from the bottom to the top, it's like 45% move. When did you last time see a Bitcoin do a green 45% move? It doesn't happen that often. Now this is a big move up here, so some kind of consolidation, some kind of move sideways, some kind of pullback up here, might happen, but it can just also continue going up here towards the upside, because these once you break these, start breaking these levels, they become very, very bullish. Now what is even more bullish, and I'm going to show you that, is breaking uptrend line. So any kind of line that goes towards upside, any kind of resistance line that goes towards upside, and you break that towards upside, what happens on the chart is that this trend over here increases the speed towards upside, So over here we had a trend line over here. We had a trend line, very nice trend line up here, give or take. And what you see up here is that we actually broke that trend line, this rising trend line towards upside. So this over here, depends on how you draw it. There was some kind of channel up here. So this channel up here will go faster towards the upside. Will go faster. We can still have pullbacks and stuff like that, but it, you know, the move towards the upside will go faster. We are increasing the speed upwards, and this is extremely, you know, bullish move towards the upside. And you know, when we're trying to find some kind of trades that are going to explode towards the upside, we often look for any kind of pattern that gives us this, you know, uptrend line, and then we look for a, you know, any kind of breakout of that that line, because that line, once that line breaks, you know, usually altcoins usually, you know, perform very, very well. So these uptrend lines, breaking those and going towards the upside usually indicates an increase in speed of the trend, and also is very, very bullish. So, you know, it is really hard for us to be, you know, any kind of, you know, bearish sentiment up here. If you draw lines up here, like everything is broken. So this option over here, short-term option up here, is broken. Now there is an, you know, it doesn't mean that it's gonna explode, but right now we are creating a higher high up here. So it depends on how big this, you know, uptrend is gonna be. Maybe it stops up here. I'm gonna show you there is a reason why we can actually stop up here. We can also stop at 31,000 or 32,000. This line also might indicate this uptrend that I'm talking about, so we might do something like this, not actually increase the speed that much, but you know, eventually when these uptrend lines breaks, we do increase the speed. So this line up here might be having some kind of daily uptrend line over here, something like this up here. This is actually a lot nicer up here. This one up here, doesn't matter, we're still above it. There we go, still above the line. So once you break these kind of lines up here, you tend to have a nice move towards the upside. You tend to have, so a weekly time frame looks good. We are above all moving averages. We are breaking a lot of resistance line. I think all of the resistance line that could be broken on the weekly time frame are already broken. So all moving averages are broken. All these, you know, highs are broken. We got nothing else until we come up here at 29k give or take, 29.5, 29.9, 30k give or take. Also 30k give or take is a psychological resistance. So, you know, getting back above that, you know, very round nice number, it's also a resistance level. You can see also these weeks on downside. So 30k, you know, a lot of people are watching 30k. There might be the thing where, you know, when everybody says one more move up and I'm gonna short, you know, one more move up, 29k, 30, 31, just one little bit more move up, and we're gonna start shorting. That might never happen, because you know, a lot of people are still waiting to, you know, to short these very important levels. So whether you get to these levels or not, it kind of depends. So if the move wants to happen, it can happen right over here. It can happen, you know, you could go down up to 30k and go towards downside, or you could go towards upside. Of course, you know, all the probabilities are there. It's really hard to figure out what's gonna happen next, but overall the sentiment of overall this, you know, this curvature up here is, you know, taking effect. We broke the downtrend, we broke the secondary downtrend. Right now we are creating this third line up here towards the upside. So the trend has definitely changed up here towards the upside. I still haven't watched Crypto Savvy's video. I want to watch it. I want to see what he says and thinks, how this is gonna play out, because like I said in chat, you know, it is very nice watching bears when you are a bully, when you are going towards the upside, to see what kind of hopium they come out with. Now let's pop some very nice, you know, resistance line that we might have on the chart. Over here, let me just see this up here. Yeah, we can still use this one. So on the monthly time frame, there are two major resistance level right now. That's the previous bottom down here, and the 20 moving average. That's around 33 and 35k level. These are very important weekly time frames. You'll also see that, sorry, not weekly, monthly time frames. You also see up here that we are have bounced off the 10 moving average and came back above the 50 right now. On the monthly, we still have 10 days left. 10 days left, but you know, major resistance lines on a monthly time frame, it's around 33 to 35k, and between these two levels, like, there is literally empty space. So if you go down up here on a weekly time frame, you'll see up here as well Then we got something up here, but I would disregard this as any kind of important resistance level over here. And I would say on the weekly time frames we get these bottoms and tops up here. Sorry, these bottoms down here at the top, they all indicate important levels of resistance, and then you got these these a couple of these at the top side over here. So you'll see up here there is some kind of confluence up here at the very bottom over here, 32K. And there is a lot of confluence around 35K up here as well. When it comes to these real, resistance levels lines, a lot of people will use this, the volume profile here on the side to figure out where the support and resistance level are. It's just crap. Never use volume profile guide to find support and resistance lines. These are the real support and resistance levels. Technically, these are only resistance level right now because we are below everything. But you can see that we have a little bit while to go until we hit this 30, 31, 32 levels towards the upside before we actually hit some kind of major resistance level, and we might start thinking about how the price is gonna react to these levels. That said, there might be trend lines that are actually very important. I haven't actually looked at the trend lines. I've looked at some trend lines, not all trend lines. So you'll see there is a box over here between 37 and 31K. So let's remove everything up here. Let's remove the moving averages up here. And there are a couple of trend lines up here that you can actually draw on the chart. You can use, of course, these stops up here. So we're trying to find a trend line that actually, could be indication of where we're gonna hit. Like this could be a nice trend line over here. There could be a trend line over here, something like this up here. Let's just draw all the trend lines. Now, the thing with the trend lines is, there could be a lot of them. There could be some of them. Some are more important than other trend lines over here, right? And it's really hard to figure out which one are more important than other lines. And this trend line up here, I think, or something like this up here, this is the only one that's actually confirming right now, where we stopped up here. So it is very, semi-nice, I would say. There is a wick up here, there's wicks up here that it's, was holding a little bit up there. So there is, some kind of trend line over here as well. I don't know if this is the most beautiful trend line, but right now we are hitting that. So maybe that's the reason why we are stopping over here right now, a little bit over here. But besides that, like I just showed you, there is a lot of trend lines that could indicate. Did I miss some trend lines up here? Yeah, give or take. That could indicate over here these these levels up here, and maybe there is something up here below, over here below, that I haven't actually taken into considerations. But you can see these wicks up here. Every one of these pivot points will be creating these trend lines up here, right? And there are a lot of up here pivot points. So any kind of these pivot points will be creating these trend lines, and these trend lines are very, very important. Now, I haven't really looked into it that much to figure out where the next is. So maybe tomorrow I'll come and give you the most beautiful trend line ever. But right now, there is definitely something over here. And then because of these, moves up here, there's definitely something up here. So, whether that's going to be in this area over here or this area up here, it kind of depends. But these are very, very important levels. So Mlane says we're going to go up to 46K. 46K, that means you gotta break, these levels are over here and these levels over here. So you gotta break kind of everything to get up there, and that will give us a new trend line somewhere, something up here that we're gonna indicate the next bull market start, right? So whether we're gonna get to 46K or not kind of depends, but there is definitely some kind of trend lines up here and some kind of trend lines up here, and there is box up here. So you can see up here right now we are below everything, and everything still looks bullish. Everything still looks nice on the bigger time frame. So I do still believe that we are gonna go a little bit more towards the upside. How much that's gonna be, I'm a little bit unsure about that. But I don't see much problems with Bitcoin price right now. So yes, we are curving here at the top, just like we said yesterday up here. I wouldn't be buying up here just yet because we are curving towards us and we are losing momentum, right? So we have been going speedy move towards upside up here. And then the next move up here, up here, I would say it's something like this over here, but it could also be picked up all the way up here. So I said that this move towards downside up here already showing signs of weakness. It goes up here right now, breaking towards downside. It's kind of curving up here towards downside, so it kind of wants to pull back. So the big question is, how much is this move towards downside gonna go? Oftentimes these moves are indication of some kind of pullback. They are not indication of that we are gonna go down to the bottom or anything like that. But right now we are creating this 4-hourly top up here, but we don't have any kind of big time frame, you know, tops or anything like that. You know, we don't have anything on the daily time frame that right now indicates, yes, we are getting this, you know, top up here, but usually once you break this, once we break this some kind of, you know, trend line over here, you try to retest that, you can create a tops on the daily time frame. Right now we have this, you know, top creation up here on the, you know, topping out pattern on the 4-hourly time frame, but nothing on the daily. So I would assume that this is just gonna pull back a little bit before it actually goes towards the upside. So my prediction on the pullback and how much we can actually pull back, or how much we're gonna pull back towards the downside, I would consider this to be a very important level of support over here, even as low down here as, you know, these bottoms down here. Could we go back below inside the channel for whatever reason? Could we go down to, you know, some kind of 24k or something like that down here? I say that we can definitely do that, but one of these levels is gonna definitely, wait, let me go back here a little bit. One of these levels is that, let me see on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, they're even lower down here. Let's put both of these lines down here. There we go. I would say one of these levels are definitely gonna, you know, give us support over here, and, you know, we might do something like that and then bounce. We might go all the way down here, you know, and bounce big time. Depends on how big the move is towards the downside, but I don't think anything right now is indicating that, you know, this, you know, rally is done and we are gonna go, you know, into a new downtrend, prolonged downtrend towards the downside. At least not right now, at least not right now. So I'm definitely looking at, you know, support, trendline support up here, and these horizontal supports over here in this area over here on the downside to give us that support that we need and continue towards the upside. Important to notice again, tomorrow is the Fed interest rate decision, and that is always very, very volatile. So we need to see how that actually plays out. Now, before this actually pulls back a big time towards the downside, there is a very nice trend line over here where it is. I would say something like this over here. Go something like this there. But we are breaking that as well. So we are literally breaking all the trend lines. All the trend lines up here. There was this trend line over here, you can see. So we broke this up here towards downside. So this trend, this option over here got, you know, curved. So this option over here got, you know, lost momentum, and right now we are losing even you know, this topping out pattern up here towards downside over here. So it definitely is curving towards downside right now over here. So support over here, down here at what's that, 26.7 or something like that, the trend line over here from the daily time frame, or this support, so horizontal support levels at 24.8, 24.7 might give us the needed, you know, support that is gonna bounce us towards the upside. But we are going into this, you know, interest rate hike decision, and yeah, everybody is right now predicting 0.25% interest rate hike, but we will see how that actually goes. So there is that, guys, there is that. Yes, we are at some kind of small time frame stop. We are curving towards downside. We are looking for a pullback right now. I'm still not predicting that this is any kind of, you know, top or anything like that. I'm predicting a pullback. The pullbacks are a little bit different. How much you're gonna pull back? Maybe to the 50 moving average on the 4 hour. Let's see. We'll see the daily time frames up here. So let's see. It's just moving averages up here on the daily time frame. You can see here that we are a little bit extended from these, you know, important moving averages up here. This 200 moving average, I don't think we're gonna get down, but, you know, you can get down to 10 moving average bounce. You can, you know, consolidate up here until the 1020 comes to you, and then, you know, bounce towards the upside, because this move up here is just going way too fast, you know. And assuming that this move up here is just gonna continue going towards the upside up here, just continue to go towards the upside up here, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you know, could it do this move up here? I mean, it technically can, but, you know, it's not often time you see these kind of moves, right? You get some kind of consolidation, you get some kind of you know, sideways movement and stuff like that. So there's that, guy. I got nothing else left. Yeah, there was this thing about the, you know, stock market I want to talk about. Yeah, stock market. The stock market looks good, guys. It's holding support levels like a boss so far. It looks weak, but it holds support. So, you know, we cannot assume anything else. So you can see down here, we went down to support level. We are still below moving average, but we are not dropping down into the channel or below the trend line over here. So this is S&P 500. You can see how nicely how it is holding the support. There is definitely a trend line over here that needs to be broken. So maybe with the Fed interest rate, it will break and it will continue towards the upside. So right now there is a lot of, you know, fear in the market, and everybody thinks banks are gonna drop. So I think as soon as these Fed interest rates come, we might see big movements on the in the stock market. You can see also how nicely the Dow Jones how nicely the Dow Jones actually held the support level up here. You can see up here, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, like, you know, it is holding the support like a boss so far. It still needs to break the resistance towards upside, but it does look very, very good. It does look, you know, it does look like it's holding support, so we are hoping it's going to continue doing that. And the Nasdaq is, you know, it's looking actually a lot better than stock market. Sorry, than S&P 500 and Dow Jones, because it's not going all the way down and doing something like this and waiting for a breakout. It's already kind of curving towards the upside up here, over here. So Nasdaq looks a lot more healthier than S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. But overall, everything is holding support, everything is waiting. So, you know, we did not, still not drop down. We still didn't drop down. That's good. And when it comes to the, you know, DXY, the DXY does look bearish and does look weak. It hit this 50 moving average up here. So the 50 moving average will start curving. So I don't think we're just gonna drop down, because oftentimes when you have this 50 moving average that goes against you, you cannot just pull down. So oftentimes what you do is you consolidate while it's curving towards downside, and then you drop down. So what I'm looking right now, if this is gonna continue going towards us, I'm looking for this 50 moving average to start curving something like this over here. So in this area right now, until it starts, you know, going, you know, from the upside towards the downside over here, I'm looking for some kind of consolidation over here and then towards the downside. So if this wants to go towards the downside and, you know, get rejected by the 50 moving average, it needs to, you know, consolidate up here before this actually turns down and then push it downwards, right? So I'm looking for some kind of, so I don't think, you know, it just, I mean, it technically can do something like this over here as well, but we'll see. It doesn't look that strong yet. It doesn't look that strong yet. It's actually very bearish as well. So I'm a little bit bearish on the DXY. A little bit short term bearish. We're gonna see, because it had this, you know, rising channel over here. Rising wedge up here. It broke that towards downside. You know, right now it's at some kind of support levels. If it drops even more, it's again at support levels, so it can definitely get some kind of bounce up here. So whether that's gonna come or not depends. You know, I don't like to analyze DXY. There's so many probabilities on DXY and how it might affect or not affect the market. So it looks a little bit bearish though. It looks a little bit bearish. Baby stream. There you go. Yeah, baby stream. So that's what I got for you today, guys. I got nothing else. Hold 3950 for stock market to continue bullish moment. Step 1 dump. I don't understand why dump Dumpago. What do you mean you don't understand? You just pump 45% and you don't understand why we're gonna dump. I don't get it. I don't get how you cannot get why we should dump. 50, hopefully hold base. Will double or high low to confirm the bottom. I think it's funny when people, you know, after this bottom, they still believe that we are gonna, you know, do another one of these moves again. Now, I'm not saying that we are gonna, you know, not do another one of these moves towards downside over here again. I'm saying it's just that it's highly improbable. It's highly improbable to actually do those things. We can do it. But right now, the probability for these kind of moves are like non-existent. Going back down to 14K is like non-existent the way I see it. Especially after this price action that we just seen on the chart. On the weekly time frame, big time frames, like it is really, really hard to push the price back down to 14K. You're not getting, you know, a chance to buy the 14K again. I know you want to believe Savvy. I know you want to believe Kapu. I know you don't want to believe me, you know, and everything is probability, nothing is financial advice. Everything can go both up and down. I don't really know, you know, I'm just reading the charts. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? But the probability, at least the way we are reading and analyzing the charts, it's a very, very unlikely to go back down to some kind of 15K levels again. It's very, very unlikely, super unlikely. Like going back down below, you know, 20K again, very unlikely, the way I see it. Could it happen? I mean, everything can happen, guys. But you know, we are not trying to, you know, put our money in something that has very low probability of happening. No, I'm not gonna buy in because, you know, it's gonna go back down to 40. It might come back down to 40K. I'm not saying that, but the probabilities are low. the probabilities are. I still think bull trap may be wrong. Yeah, the biggest bull. This is the biggest bull trap in history, guys. The biggest bull trap in history. Now this is creating people, but there will come a pullback eventually over here, or sideways consolidation or something, right? But you know, what's your thoughts on Balaji prediction of 1 million? I don't think he's gonna be right in 90 days. That's the only thing that I can say right now, because it's based on hyperinflation, and at least the way I analyzed, you know, the markets, the CBDCs are not, you know, out yet. So until CBDCs come, I don't think there will be hyperinflation. You don't think it went from 36, 40? I have no clue what you said there. So there is that. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. There won't be a massive sell-off. No. There will be a sell-off, but you're not going back down to 40k. Just because we go up to, you know, something like, you know, just because the price goes up, you know, to 40k, you know, you're not getting this move back down. You might get, you know, consolidation. You might get some kind of consolidation levels up here, you know, some kind of movement, you know, it might pull back down to these levels down here at, you know, 28k. It might even go a little bit lower down here. You know, I'm not saying that cannot happen. That cannot happen, but the moves all the way down to these lows down here are very, very unlikely. Unlikely. The sell-off will happen. I'm 100% sure about that. But how much the sell-off will? This consolidation phase can also be a rising consolidation phase up here. And then you're really F'd when you are waiting for 14k, right? So there's that. You bullish or bearish? Short-term bearish. Short-term, you know, pullback waiting. But short-term, you know, on time frames less than a day. Long-term super bullish. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll see how this actually plays out. Did we get it right or not? There is that. Bye-bye.